Among the liver's many unsung duties, one of the most essential, and perhaps least understood, is its role in recycling and clearing out old red blood cells. This process is a natural part of cellular turnover. As red blood cells age and break down, their components must be safely dismantled and repurposed. The liver, acting in concert with the spleen, plays a key role in this cleanup, transforming a byproduct of hemoglobin breakdown called bilirubin into a form that can be excreted. This may sound like a minor biochemical task, but it is actually a critical part of maintaining blood health and metabolic balance. When this process goes wrong, the consequences can be seen across the entire body, starting with the skin and eyes. When red blood cells reach the end of their roughly 120-day lifespan, they are broken down primarily in the spleen, where hemoglobin is released from the cell. Hemoglobin contains iron, which the body cleverly salvages and recycles. The remainder, mostly the heme portion, is converted into bilirubin, a yellowish pigment. This bilirubin is then transported to the liver, where it undergoes further processing. It is conjugated, made water-soluble, packaged into bile, and eventually excreted through the intestines. In a healthy body, this system runs silently and smoothly. But when the liver is impaired or overwhelmed, this system backs up, and bilirubin levels rise. The result is jaundice, a yellowing of the skin and the whites of the eyes, which is one of the most visible early signs of liver dysfunction. Jaundice itself is not a disease, but a symptom, a warning sign that the liver is not clearing bilirubin effectively. This could be due to a number of underlying causes: viral hepatitis, fatty liver, cirrhosis, bile duct obstruction, or even medication overload. What's striking is how often this symptom is brushed off until the disease has progressed. Many people don't recognize the early yellowing or associate it with liver health, even though it's one of the body's clearest distress signals. The bilirubin clearing function of the liver is more than cosmetic. Bilirubin, while useful in small amounts as an antioxidant, becomes toxic when it accumulates. High levels can damage brain cells, particularly in newborns, disrupt digestion, cloud mental clarity, and contribute to a general feeling of fatigue or malaise. Yet because early liver dysfunction often presents subtly, with vague symptoms like low energy, mild nausea, or poor appetite, bilirubin buildup is sometimes missed until the condition becomes advanced and harder to reverse. There's also a psychological dimension to this. Many people associate liver issues exclusively with alcohol abuse or hepatitis, and may dismiss mild jaundice or fatigue as stress or poor sleep. But liver dysfunction can develop silently for years, driven by poor diet, excessive sugar, high medication use, or exposure to everyday environmental toxins. And because the liver can compensate so well, it often maintains basic function until damage is quite severe, by which time bilirubin levels may spike and jaundice becomes impossible to ignore. Fortunately, like so many of the liver's functions, this filtration and bilirubin clearing process can often be restored or improved through lifestyle changes. Supporting liver health with whole foods, especially those high in antioxidants and sulfur compounds, like garlic, onions, cruciferous vegetables, and leafy greens, can ease the liver's burden. Hydration is also key, as is reducing alcohol, refined sugars, and processed fats. Herbs like milk thistle, dandelion root, and artichoke have shown promise in improving bile flow and liver detox capacity, which in turn can enhance bilirubin clearance. Additionally, understanding bilirubin levels in blood tests can be a helpful tool for early intervention. Even mildly elevated levels, before visible jaundice appears, may be a clue that the liver is struggling. Regular monitoring, especially for people with known risk factors like diabetes, obesity, or high medication use, can offer a window of opportunity to restore liver function before more serious damage sets in. In this way, the liver's management of old red blood cells is not just a cleanup operation, it's a barometer of deeper health. The presence of bilirubin is a sign that the liver is doing its job, quietly recycling life's building blocks. But when that system breaks down, it's a clear signal that the body's internal environment is becoming imbalanced. Responding to that signal early can make all the difference, not just in avoiding disease, but in preserving energy, clarity, and resilience over the long term. So while jaundice may seem like a superficial symptom, it's actually the body's way of waving a bright yellow flag, an invitation to pay attention, to intervene early, and to protect one of the most vital and capable organs we have. When we support the liver in this role, we give it the resources to continue its quiet, relentless, and life-sustaining work, day after day, cell after cell.